Hey guys, welcome back to the Okie Farmhouse. I know it's been a while since I posted last, but I wanted to wait till I had a good project to create a video on. So today's video is going to be over the building of this mud kitchen. It's made from cedar pickets and treated 2x4s. I hope you like it. If you do, please subscribe or leave me a comment. Let me know what you do different. Let's get to building. All right, now that we got all our cut list done for the 2x4s, we're going to start assembly. We're going to put together the base as well as the top. These go together with number 10 2.5-inch deck screws. For the top or for the bottom base here, I basically just evenly space out the 2x4s. Each space is about 21 3/8, or maybe a little less. And we're going to put those together, and then I'll move on to the top, show you that as well. So I want to put you on time lapse here for a little bit while I assemble this, and then we'll get back to the top. All right, before we begin putting together the top base, we got to assemble the framework that will hold our wash basins once the top is cut out. These are two 21-inch 2x4s and then two 12.5-inch 2x4s. And I just space them evenly. It's about 4 inches from each end, and it's about 10 inches of spacing between, which fits these little wash basins from Walmart really well, which is what I use. You can choose to use whatever you want, stainless steel, black, white. But the ones that I've been making, I buy these. They're about $2 at Walmart, and they work well for the mud kitchens. So I'm going to get to assembling these first. Once I'm done with that, we'll do a similar assembly for the top as we did for the base, and I'll get back to you once that's done. All right, now that I got the wash basin framework put together, I've laid out my top. Basically, the spacing for these, it's 5-inch spacing between the outside 21-inch 2x4 and the wash basin first 2x4 there, and then it's 25 inches from here to here for the spacing, just to allow for where we're going to put our burners on the mud kitchen later. So I'm going to get this put together. I'm going to go back on time lapse for that, because I don't want to bore you with me moving slowly as an old man putting this thing together. But I will get it put together for you, and then we'll start working on the next step, which is to put all the legs together and tie the top and bottom together before we start putting on our cedar planks. All right, now that the bottom base and the top are done, we're going to start to assemble the legs. This is the way I like to put it together. I turn them up on their face. I lay my 4 29.5-inch boards down, and I even the top edge of the boards with the top edge of the top. And then what I like to do is move the base up until I have about a 4.5-inch leg that sticks out below the bottom base. And so from there, I just attach them. Once those are attached, I'll turn it up on its top and start to assemble the back 48-inch boards to the back of it, evening up with the top and then making sure the spacing between the top and the bottom are the same as the front. And then we'll be done with assembling the legs onto the top and base, and then we can proceed with the rest of the work. All right, the next step, we're going to take our 25-inch 2x4s and we're going to start to lay out our framework for the lower oven. We're just going to take those and mount them flush with the top here, attach them here to the framework of the wash basins, and then down here to the base. And I'm just going to put 4 in each board, 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom. And now we got to get a new battery. that kind of, for the most part, wraps up the framework. I do need to cut 2 more 21-inch boards that I forgot to cut. They will go between this space and a set flat with the top. And the purpose of those is when we put our burners on, we have something to screw through the cedar pickets into the 2x4 just to hold it tight. And then I need to cut 1 more board for the center. It goes from the bottom edge all the way up and matches this height on the back, and that just kind of gives me a center support for our pickets that are going to go across the back of the mud kitchen. But I think that's where I'm going to stop tonight. We'll pick this up tomorrow and see what we can get done. Thank y'all. Hey guys, welcome back to the Okie Farmhouse. This is our mud kitchen build, day 2. So where we left off yesterday, we had finished out most of the framework, but I still needed to add in these 2 cross braces as well as this back support. And so I've got those in, and so now our next step is we're going to add the front fascia boards for the lower oven section to both the front and back. They're approximately 18 inches, a little bit less, depending on how you build your kitchen as far as where you set your base at. But I'm going to get those installed, and then from there we will move on to preparing the cedar pickets, running them through the planer to smooth off one side and start cutting the links and strips that we need to start adding the facade for the mud kitchen. Hey guys, sorry about the audio here. I forgot to charge my mics overnight, and I guess they died at this point. But in this particular clip, I'm just explaining how I lay out the top planks. I've run them through the planer now. I've cut them down to length. They're about 70 and 1/8 inch long. What I like to do is lay them all out and put clamps on them to kind of tighten all the gaps and see how it's going to lay out. From there, I'll take a pencil, get underneath, and mark out the holes for the wash basins. And then once that's complete, I take the clamps off and then cut the holes out before getting them ready to install. Hey guys, here the audio kind of messed up again. Forgot to turn the mics on. All I'm doing is removing the clamps after installing the planks. We use 1¼ inch deck screws so that it's good for outdoor use. Once I've got everything snug and fit the way I want, I'll grab the wash basins and I'm going to test fit those to make sure they fit, that our gaps are correct and there's no holes around the edges of the basin. And then we'll move on to the next step, which is going to be to start working on installing the planks on the back of the mud kitchen. Morning everyone, welcome back to the Okie Farmhouse and our mud kitchen build. When we left off last night, we had just added the back panels. I did go ahead and add this trim piece and this trim piece here for our shelves that will be installed later. And then I've got our side pieces cut and our front fascia and our top cap cut out. And so we're going to attach those so that we can then measure and get accurate measurements for our side trim pieces that go on the top and base. So let's get started on that and we'll go from there. Hey guys, welcome back. I actually skipped forward a little bit here. I forgot to hit record, but I'll get you up to speed where we're at now. I did get the planks on the bottom. It takes 4 planks to do it. Um, and I space them about 3/4 of an inch apart as far as the gap goes. You do have to slot around the 2x4s, or with the front and back pieces, I actually cut those into 3 different sections and then attach them to the 2x4s. Sometimes you may have to add an extra support on either side of the 2x4s of the oven to help with that. Um, and I also started on the shelf. So the shelves are about 12 inches long. You can design them however you want. I round the front edges, and then I cut a little 45 little triangle angle piece to kind of support the shelf on one side. And then we have our 1.5-inch trim piece here that it sits on top of for the extra support. But it's pretty solid for what it's going to be used for. You could put 2 on it if you want, but I've just used 1. I do glue it in as well. And we'll go ahead and get the other side attached and go from there. The 45 is slotted to go around the little trim piece here, just to help get it flush. I'm using 1-inch brad nails to nail it in. You can screw it in if you want, but I have a lot of problems with the wood splitting when I do that, even if I pre-drill. So I usually just go with the brad nails. The glue will actually give it the support it needs. It's not like people are going to be climbing on this shelf, so. All right, there we go. All right, now that we've got the outside of the oven put together, we're going to work on building the shelf that'll go inside. For this particular design, the side braces are 21 inches. The top pieces are about 23 5/8. And as you can see, I've just kind of got it laid out here on the table. I'm going to glue and pin nail these together. It doesn't need a whole lot of strength to hold it, but just want the pin nails in there to kind of till the glue sets. And then we'll attach this inside the oven space once we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I was using 3/4 inch brad nails or pin nails to put this together. Like I said, it's just to hold it until we get it installed. Once it's installed, it's not going to go anywhere. Appreciate you guys joining today and watching this. If you made it this far, if you wouldn't mind, hit that subscribe button, that like button, or dislike if you don't like it. Let me know what I'm doing wrong or could do better. I am by no means an expert. Do this for fun on the side. It's not my full-time job, but I enjoy woodworking and thought I would give a shot at doing some how-to videos and some of the bigger projects that I get to work on for some of my clients. If you like this project or any other project too, leave me a comment. Tell me what project you're working on. Maybe put a picture in or follow me. I do have a Facebook page, the Okie Farmhouse. So if you got some pictures or images, you can send those through a message. Always looking for new projects. I do post pictures of all of mine, so feel free to steal them. I haven't started doing plans yet. I may start doing that as well. But let me know what you think. More pieces here. All right, there we go. One shelf ready to go in. All right, I'll get back with you when we're over there ready to install. Okay, now that we've got our shelf in, we've got it level front to back. Basically, when I install it, my preference, I just kind of split the difference. But the next two things I want to do, just to prevent some sagging, I've cut another 21-inch piece that I'm going to, actually that one's a little too long. Here it is. We're going to run it in the middle, and that's just going to help prevent some of the sagging with the pickets across the shelf, give us some support. And then I've got a fascia piece here that I want to put on and stick in here just to kind of clean it up. So we're going to get that installed, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to switch my pin nailer to get these back ones. All right. And then we want to take our trim piece. That's it. It's going to be a snug fit. I get that lined up with the edge, so we're setting level. There we go. And we'll just put a couple of brad nails, one in the center there, one in each corner. All right, that'll hold that. All right, now that we've got the shelf in, we're going to start working on the fascia of the oven with the drawer and the hinges. So I'm going to start working on that. I'll get the measurements, and then I'll get you back over at the table as we assemble that. All right, now we're going to work on assembling our oven door. It's basically, it measures 24 inches wide by about 17.5 inches tall. I'm just making it from the scrap pieces of cedar, so you can make it however you want to design it. I do put a little window in it, and I'll have a handle that goes in it. I put a piece at the bottom for support, and then a couple others to kind of support the joints where I'm joining it together. But we'll go ahead and get this put together, and then get it installed on the oven and get the handle on. And then the last step will be kind of sanding and then treating it with the Thompson water seal. Let's get back to it. All right, everyone, this wraps up the Mud Kitchen build. I got the oven door installed with our hinges and our handle. I use a friction hinge to help. It just snaps it in place, holds it so that it doesn't come open. The handles I got off Amazon, and they're just a cheap black modern style handle. The last step, and I won't be filming that, but the last step is just to put a finish on it of your choice. You can stain it. I prefer with the cedar to actually put a clear coat on it, and using Thompson's water seal clear. And it really makes the cedar pop out. And so I'll just do a good sanding on all the wood, fill any cracks that I'm not happy with, and then put the sealer on it, and we'd call this project done. I appreciate everyone joining to watch this video. If you made it to the end, hey, please do me a favor and click that like button. Send me a comment, whether you liked it or not, what you might do differently. And also subscribe if you'd like to. It really helps my channel to grow and to get out there to more people. I haven't done a whole lot of videos. It just takes a lot of time, and it takes away from the project when you do that. But I wanted to put this out there for everybody. Hopefully one of you might pick it up and try to build one yourself. So good luck. Thank y'all. Hey guys, one of the things I didn't show in this video, and you'll see some pictures, is the accessories. The accessories are really something that you can make your own. I make burners. I cut them out of the cedar. I cut 4 circles, 2 bigger ones, 2 smaller ones. And then I use my laser to engrave kind of a burner design that I paint black. Usually paint the burners a silver or aluminum spray paint color. And then I create 5 black knobs, usually about 2.5 inches in diameter. And I secure those with a screw, and then I glue the top and pin nail it over the top of the screw head to kind of hide the screw once it's done, to give it a finished look. The other thing that's worked well for me is I create custom signs that you'll see on some pictures here at the end of the video. And I allow my customers to select what they want to put on, and I engrave the signs. I usually treat those with the Thompson's water seal as well. And I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Thank you.